What's up, everybody? King Sway. I'm back at it with another one. Today we have Miles Morales versus Static, Marvel Spider-Man versus DC Static Shock. I remember when he was called Static X. That was I have some of the original comics for Static, and I watched the show when I was growing up. I loved the show. The third season was kind of lacking, but yeah. Anyway, I also enjoy Miles Morales as Spider-Man. I like them both, but I'm going with Static on this one. I feel like he's more versatile with his abilities, and has an edge over Miles as Spider-Man. So we're gonna see if I'm right, and we're gonna jump right into this.
You can chill out with a delicious Miller Lite. Nothing simpler than taking a break from the internet to share some suds with your buds.
Frankly, it sounds like a good time to debate this matchup, or if we, get the victor right. When there's a great tasting 96-calorie Miller Lite, friends should always come before followers.
Here's to the original light beer, the original social media. It's Miller time.
Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per ounce.
And all that good stuff right there.
Throughout the Earths of Marvel and DC Comics, there are hundreds, no thousands of superheroes saving the day. But what if I told you there were even more across the multiverse?
Oh, great, as if we don't have enough to keep track of already.
Miles Morales, the Spider-Man of Marvel's Earth number 1610.
And Static, the electric genius from DC's Dakotaverse.
If I remember correctly,
He's
that's
Wes and I'm Boomstick.
the Ultimate
And
Dimension.
it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. At first glance, the world of Earth 1610 isn't so different from our own. But look closer and you'll find Coca-Soda instead of Coca-Cola, PDNY officers instead of NYPD.
And a hamburger and fries can cost 30,000 goddamn dollars.
But perhaps the greatest difference in this so-called Ultimate Universe was that Peter Parker, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, was dead.
Enter Miles Morales. He was your typical kid from Brooklyn and didn't have much to worry about except his overbearing mom and dad. Hey kid, appreciate your folks while you have them. You never know when they're gonna pull a surprise Uncle Ben.
Well, Miles spent most of his time with his more laid-back Uncle Aaron, who turned out to be a secret supercriminal.
Totally relatable. Anyway, during one of his heists into a secret lab, Aaron accidentally scooped up a spider. The next time Miles visited, the spider got loose and, you know what happens.
If you've seen, what is it,
this spider carried the genetic-enhancing Oz formula. Yet another attempt to recreate Captain America's infamous super soldier serum. It had previously transformed Peter Parker into the first Spider-Man.
Wait a minute, who came up with the idea to store the super serum in a freaking spider?
Scientists can be weird sometimes.
Maybe next time put it in something that can't walk away. It's got 8 legs, that's like 4 times more walking power.
Sure. Either way, with his new powers, Miles donned red and black to become the ultimate Spider-Man.
As the newest spider lad on the block, he does whatever a spider can.
But they never
He's super
call
strong, super
Miles
fast,
Morales
and has
Spider-Man.
the overpowered super radar, the
Not
spider sense.
After meeting Peter's Aunt May, Miles took up the classic web shooters.
I might be
complete
incorrect,
with multiple types of
but
long to
every
short
episode
range
I've
webbing.
seen, they've never called
Yet
Miles
another
Morales
tool
Spider-Man.
that would be perfect for snagging a beer from the fridge without leaving the couch.
Boomstick, he was a teenager.
Different universe, different drinking laws, right? And also, like Peter, he can stick to walls. You know, spider style.
Yes, like some spiders, Miles can control his body's interatomic attraction, essentially sticking to walls like a magnet. However, unlike Peter, this subatomic electron manipulation gave Miles a few extra moves of his own.
Yeah, the kid's got electric powers. He can zap people with a quick touch, fire off massive explosions, and even turn invisible. Wait, what's that got to do with shocking people?
This Venom Sting can even take out the Ultimate Universe's Electro, a being literally made of electricity. But Miles didn't just shock him, he disrupted Electro's own charge. Similar to a miswiring sending too much electricity in one direction and shorting out your computer when somebody forgot to plug it into the surge protector.
Wiz, you know I don't believe in protection for anything. It's going in raw.
Oh, I was just about to say that.
Anyway, as the new Spider-Man, Miles obviously had a lot to live up to. after his Uncle Aaron died in front of him.
Ha!
Prowler.
Told you somebody would pull a Ben.
Miles pushed past the heartache. He persisted, living up to Peter's ideals, and eventually stepped out of his shadow to be Spider-Man in a way only he could.
I love that costume,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I would
What's up, Danger?
I would want more of that,
He can
in my
blast
personal
apart
opinion,
a
that the
building-sized
red
monster
be
and
blue.
survived being
Black and
slammed
blue.
around by the giant Cassie Lang. That's Ant-Man's daughter.
He's smart enough to hack military drones and quick enough to destroy an alien device in a microsecond. Essentially, he needed to open and close a portal in an impossibly short time frame to prevent an alien force from invading. It's a long story.
Point is, he's super fast. With his spider sense, he can react to things before they even happen. He's super tough, too. He even survived being caught in this giant super collider exploding.
Measuring the size of this hole using real-world maps of New York and solving for fragmentation, we know this explosion must have been equivalent to about 222 tons of TNT.
Sure, that's
The
not
amount of
technically
research they
canon
put
to the
into
comics,
stuff like
but
this
guys,
is staggering,
main
in my
series
personal
Spider-Man
opinion.
has done way crazier things. I mean, he has the same powers, and Miles has even beat the crap out of him. Classic Pete can bench press 130 tons, use his spider sense to dodge beams of light,
Batman
and
versus-
ripped apart Doc Ock's robo-arms, which once survived a 2-kiloton nuclear explosion. So I'd say the Super Collider feat checks out.
Unfortunately, Miles' electric powers can tire him out, and his spider sense does not protect him automatically, serving more as an alarm or proximity sensor.
But the youngins proved himself to be the best successor a Spider-Man could ever want, and more. He even got pulled into the main Marvel timeline when they blew up the Ultimate Universe. Miles Morales is truly one of the greats.
Don't wash the mouth, wash the hands.
Despite growing up in the most crime-filled neighborhood of Dakota City, Virgil Hawkins was a pretty chill guy.
He spent his time playing D&D, reading comics, you know, typical nerd stuff. But he
I like
had one
D&D.
major
Screw you,
problem,
hippie.
the classic sitcom bully. No teenage story is complete without it.
During school, he was frequently harassed by local gang leader Francis Stone. Virgil's only refuge was one of his few friends, Larry Wade.
Larry
Working
convinced
training.
Virgil there was only one way to get rid of
Queen
Francis
Sway
for
yelling
good.
at me.
Join his own gang and pack some heat.
No, I'm lying.
Things
That last
got,
one didn't happen. I just like to
well,
mess
pretty
with it.
intense, and Virgil wasn't having any of it. It was time to bail like DC Comics on their cinematic universe.
But the damage was already done. The police arrived and let loose a massive canister of what seemed to be tear gas, but wasn't.
Yeah, this grape-looking mist was actually some experimental shit. It was supposed to tag each gang member so the cops could track them down later. But it was actually laced with radioactive quantum juice, which killed almost everybody. I hate it when
Yeah,
that
they made
happens.
bang babies. They called it
Luckily,
Big
Virgil
Bang.
was one of the few who survived, but the quantum juice still had an effect.
You could say he was shocked to find out what it did.
Yes, he began to develop electromagnetic powers. Before this, Virgil always felt out of his league, but now he was in a league of his own and became the superhero Static.
Shock to your system.
Hell yeah! With these new powers, the guy was unstoppable. He could blow shit up with electric bolts quick as lightning, make explosion balls called Nova Bombs, and taser people with punches to the face.
Right, but he's not
Basically,
just
Chakra
good at
attack
shocking people.
before,
Static can
Sakura
alter
did
the
it.
electron attraction of any object or surface. He can erect extremely durable electromagnetic force
when
fields
she
that block
charges up
most
the power in her
attacks.
fist and at
He
the
can
point of
even
impact,
move
releases
metal
it.
around like a
Virgil
hip
did
young
that first.
Magneto.
And slip metal under his feet to take to the sky. His favorite ride is the Static Saucer, a giant frisbee that doubles as a shield
I
and
can't say he
buzzsaw.
did it first for
Think
sure,
about
but I
it.
know he
Don't
did
you
it
wish
before she
your
did it.
car
We'll just
could
verify
literally
that.
cut through
If you
traffic?
go back to the, how
Obviously,
long,
turning
how old the
superhuman
comics were.
overnight caught Virgil a bit off guard. But after a few speed bumps, he became a well-regarded
In the comics,
superhero
from
throughout the city of
Milestone,
Dakota,
when they
even
worked for
teaming up
DC,
with
when
fellow
they were being
heroes like
published for
Icon
DC.
and Rocket.
Icon and Rocket. Come on, where's Batman and Wonder Woman?
23 years
Oh,
ago?
I should mention that while Static is part of the DC universe, he did not start there. See, Static was originally created by Milestone
What did I
Comics,
just
which
say?
eventually merged with DC. Their characters, including Static, existed in an alternate timeline known as the Dakotaverse.
The Dakota- yep.
Then a guy named Dharma gained cosmic power and accidentally blew everything
Dharma's
up,
a
sending
dick.
Static into the main DC timeline. It's really not too complicated.
Uh-huh.
I've actually been working on a device to peer into alternate timelines, but unfortunately it still needs...
Button! Well now, old chap, what were we discussing but a moment ago?
Oh, shite, don't you know? Let's figure out who yet wins a fatality kerfuffle.
Yes, I'm mad as hops. Let's begin, my fellow Ultra Capodarian.
I regret everything.
Oh, I'll do it again!
No! I'm sure that's fine.
Well, no matter the universe, Static was always one-upping himself. He learned how to see ultraviolet light and how to make people glow. Wait, what's that got to do with shocking people?
That would be his ability to detect bioelectric auras. Static can also create power-draining plasma coils, disrupt the electrical impulses of others, and empower or heal himself by draining energy from outside sources.
I don't
he
like
can
the new
literally
costume.
reattach his severed arm with shock power. I'm not even joking! Look at this! Since when could electricity do that?
Clearly, Static has a lot of power at his beck and call.
He can survive building-sized kabooms, lift hundreds of tons, and once turned this huge chunk of ice into slush in just a couple seconds.
Based on the size of the ice and the required change in temperature for such a feat, Static must have output energy equal to 180 tons of TNT.
Yeah.
He's quick enough to
strong.
intercept lasers confirmed to be beams of actual light, which is pretty darn fast.
And in the cartoon, he actually shoved some quantum juice in some lockers and launched them out of orbit. These are typical school lockers, which can weigh up to 30 pounds each.
And fit approximately one nerd.
To throw 3 of these into space, they need to be moving nearly 3,000 times faster than sound, requiring a throwing force equal to 4 kilotons of TNT.
Damn! Okay, sure, that's not canon to the comics, but his electromagnetism could play tug-of-war with Superboy's telekinesis, which can lift 4 million tons. I'm not sure Static can go that far, but if he's anywhere close, it's still higher than throwing some lockers around.
Though, despite Static's incredible power, insulators are his kryptonite, and he can run out of juice if he pushes himself too much.
But the guy's one of the coolest superheroes who rarely got his time to shine. Heck, he was good enough to join the Justice League. I think even Virgil himself was shocked to see how cool he really was.
Static shock!
Alright, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
But first, all this talking has made me hungry for Blue Apron. Can healthy be delicious? Blue Apron is here to prove it can.
It's a new year, and everyone's reevaluating their lifestyles. So why not try to improve your eating habits?
It's okay if you don't know where to start. Blue Apron has you covered. You can make a plan just for you with their ever-changing mix of options.
Vegetarian, plant-forward, Mediterranean, diabetes-friendly, WW-approved, 500-calorie or less, whatever you're looking for, they've got it. And it'll be sent right to your door. Also, if you're concerned you won't know what to do once you have the ingredients, Blue Apron has that covered too.
Look, I know I'm not the best chef out there, but Blue Apron seriously helps me kill it in the kitchen.
Isn't that the truth? With all the work we do here at Death Battle, figuring out a cooking plan was always a chore. But not anymore.
So create a healthy mealtime routine that works for you in 2020.
Check out this week's menu and get $60 off when you visit blueapron.com/battle.
That's blueapron.com/battle.
Blue Apron, feed your soul.
But right now, it's time for a death battle!
For real? You attack me! Well, I got more than one electric psychopath to keep track of it. Whoa, 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 whoa!
The old cartoon stuff. Did he just dab on him?
What's up with that? I call that the shoulder touch. And I call this my taser punch.
It's this. What I just said. I was thinking about it. He was like, yeah. Like Krillin's Destructo Disc. You just zoom, 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 zoom. To disperse and shock him down. I'm a big nerd for stuff like this. Science and superheroes and stuff like I love it. Oh, word.
Spider boy. No more flying pizza trays. Shoot, that's my ride.
I'm about to, he's about to see the aura.
Okay, you've got surprises, but so do I.
Nova bomb. Oh no, the attraction thing, everything smashes on him. Oh no, my arm.
What the?
You about to see shock the webbing.
Not cool. You stupid. All I gotta do is... What? Plasma coil. If you hadn't noticed, this electric biz is kind of my thing. Aw, man.
Ba-la-la-la-la.
That was tough.
I was right. My
Looks
man
like
Static,
we're
my
kicking
man
off this
Virgil
year with a
Ovid
bang.
Hawkins.
Poor Miles, though.
Honestly, I'm surprised how this turned out. At first glance, Miles appeared to have a good chance at victory.
He was definitely physically stronger than Static. He would have totally won an arm wrestling contest.
But Virgil's overwhelming electric power put him at a level above the young Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, overall Static's feats were way above Spidey's, even when we scaled Miles to classic Peter Parker's biggest feats. Static definitely had the oomph to take Miles out, but Miles had no easy way to get around his force field.
The variety of techniques at Static's disposal also rent many of Spider-Man's abilities moot.
Like how Spidey's invisibility didn't matter when Static could light him up like a Christmas tree, and his speed was so similar to what the Spider Sense could give Miles that the Super Radar wasn't that big of a help. Remember, just because he knew an attack was coming didn't always mean he could dodge it in time.
And, well,
That's
shockingly, Static only needed to hit him
Rock Lee
once.
said the same thing
See,
South
his
did. Just 'cause you can see it
electromagnetic
coming doesn't mean
manipulation
anybody
gave
can
him
do something about
control
it.
over Miles'
You just know
wall
it's gonna
drawing
hurt.
and other abilities. As soon as he got a hold of Miles' bioelectric aura, it was basically all over.
But hey, Miles and all the other Spider-Men fight Electro all the time, and they have no problem dealing with him.
Yes,
Why
they
was
do.
Static any different?
Simply put, every iteration of Electro pales in comparison. He has no feats of power that come even close to Static, and frankly, he's an idiot. This was a fascinating matchup, but... Oh no, not again!
Yay! Mr. Morales put up a jolly good show, and yet Mr. Hawkins had him outdone in breathtaking power, stalwart defense, and veritable versatility.
That jacket
Boy,
that
was just
Electro
miles
had in
ahead
the
of
video
him, don't
game,
you
I might
know?
use that.
The victor is Static.
Like I said, we do videos.
Hey,
we
thanks
just,
for checking out the premiere of Season 7 of Death Battle.
If you want the battle music for yourself, you can get it by clicking the link down below. And, hey, the card game...
as I was saying, we do videos. We just did When You Try to Rob a Super parts 1 and 2, and we're working on our own battles for My Hero Academia. We're doing, like, I was inspired by something a project someone else did, so we're doing our best to bring a quality piece like that. But that vest that Electro had, that was nice in the video game. That was nice. I think I want to use an idea like that. But I was right. My man Ovid Hawkins, Virgil Ovid Hawkins, he had the power. He was just zap, and he came in, did his thing, and just so it was an entertaining fight throughout. And now that I know they got Batman versus Spider-Man, I'm probably gonna look at that one. Not even probably. I'm gonna look at that one. There's no probably in that. But I'm hoping you enjoyed it, because I sure did. I'm King Sway. I'll see you in the next one.